Weighing in on the abortion issue, pro-life is winning for now, but is it an Achilles heel? Hello, this is Chart GPT today. Well, you probably know one of the key issues coming up in the political discourse in 2024 will be the abortion issue. We all know about the historic decision to overturn the Roe versus Wade back in the mid-summer of 2022. And it's interesting to look at some data here. Again, we're not going to try to take any position pro-life or pro-choice, but just want to look at some statistics and see whether or not it's an issue that the pro-life needs to be concerned of, and what would be the positions going forward politically. So let's look at some data here to see what that might come about. Here is a kind of a satisfaction with U.S. abortion laws, and it's been pretty constant over the years. Basically, there has been a slight rise in the dissatisfaction, but for the most part, it hasn't really started occurring until 2021, and that's when the Roe V Wade. So a lot of people looked at that and they were like shocked to say, "Oh my goodness, we're going to lose any abortion rights." We have to take a look at that. And of course, you go by party. Obviously, it's the Democrats that are most concerned. It's risen up to 43 versus 14 for Republicans and 31 for independents. So there has been a huge change in disturbance, shall we say, or dissatisfaction. But first, take a look at the number of abortions that are occurring anyway since the 1970s. They've been on a steady decline in any way for lots of reasons. We won't get into that. But the point is the amount of abortions are actually coming down. And if you look at the actual number of abortions, 91% are in what we call the first trimesters. So most abortions are in the first trimester. So that's an interesting point. Here's a more detailed chart on that here. You can see that on a per week there basis. But here's kind of the data that's recent data that's been polling here, and this is April 2023. You can see that majority of the people are okay with first trimester abortions or earlier, but it's where you get into the sticky wicket are in the second and third in terms of people's opinions. Again, if you're pro-life, you're not going to like that. If you're pro-choice, you may not like it either. So the point being here is that majority of Americans believe the first trimester abortion is okay, but second and third are not. And most of kind of the heartbeat laws have kind of fall into that as well. So you think of the different laws that have been passed since Roe v. Wade, pretty much the pro-life and pro-choice has been a bit of a mixed picture. Nevertheless, here's a map of what is banned and not banned. You can see that quite a swath of red states have passed total bans, and not just in first and third trimester, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see that there's a huge divide in the country there. And does it line up with red and blue states? Probably, yes. Probably most of those red areas are red states, and the blue states tend to be Democrats. So you can see there's been a divide going on there. But however, since Roe v. Wade, these are the states that have come out with sweeping victories. And a lot of these new laws, you can take a look at the description box, are actually more targeting on the second and third trimester, which most agree that probably is a bad idea. So has this been a bit of a ruse? The question is this a ruse by the pro-choice folks to kind of put a bullet point on the whole idea of free abortions and free choice? Because most of those abortions don't even occur anyway. So that's kind of the point. And of course, this is a big issue politically. Some people believe it was caused of the red wave that didn't turn into a red wave, red trickle back in the 2022 midterms. And so this kind of bleeds on to the idea, and this is something that's been popping up on the Republican side. Of course, everybody dislikes Ann Coulter, a bit of an opportunist, but it also reflects Nikki Haley, who's a presidential candidate, suggesting that the abortion stance is similar to the defund the police of the Democrats, a very unpopular position. So should Republicans basically adopt the first trimester abortion, or should the pro-life stick with their guns and lose elections? That's what her argument would be, same as Nikki Haley. Because the point I think she's trying to make is if you take a pro-hard stance against pro-choice and say, I'm a pro-life absolutist, you're probably going to lose elections. And if you lose elections, that means you're going to have more abortions, not less. If you take a more nuanced position, you'll probably have less abortions. However, it won't be a purist pro-life stance. So this becomes the issue. Take our online poll. What should the GOP Republican stance be? Should it be more nuanced, or should it stay purist and pro-life? That's a very interesting question based upon these statistics. Don't forget to subscribe.